Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today is supposed to be a glorious day and it's supposed to be upwards to 50. Now it's not quite there yet and we are still combating a little bit of fog in the distance, but everything is pretty much clear around here. My plan today is to actually attempt to get all my roses cut back in preparation for spring. And then kind of just assess the garden, kind of walk around, show you what's going on, how it's looking. I know I've seen some flower buds from hellebores coming up and some bulbs sprouting and all that other kind of fun stuff. So I know there's other things that we can tackle today, but I'm trying to go easy. I don't want to do too much. I've already taken some Tylenol because I did a little too much yesterday, and I just want to make sure that I'm good for the rest of the day. So I'm gonna grab my pruners, grab my gloves, they're somewhere around here, and we're gonna grab the Gorilla cart and we'll start out front with some of the plants there, and then we'll kind of do an overview of what's going on in the front yard. Oh my God. Ooh. I'd die before we even get started today. All right, so we are currently out in the front yard, and this is the rose we're gonna tackle. This is, it's a first, no, it's an Easy Elegance rose. I've had it for about 3 years now, and she has done absolutely amazing. She had beautiful hips throughout the season. She performs her head off constantly, but she's gotten a bit rowdy, and I haven't done any pruning on her in quite a while, so we're gonna tackle this one to start. Just real quick, look how beautiful that Golden Duchess hemlock looks. And then we still have berries on the little goblins. These are little goblin orange. Still looking good. Really, really happy with that. But let's tackle this rose. All right, so now that that rose is done, which it desperately needed the trim that it needed. It wasn't even a trim, it needed an overhaul. Like I said, I haven't touched that rose in a couple years, and it shows. Even though a rose says it's low maintenance and, you know, all this innovative breeding, you still have to tackle it, and you still have to treat it like a traditional rose as far as like your original cleanup time, you know, of prune back and stuff like that. Same habits of keeping it open and airy and such like that, and proper pruning to get the branches going out into a nice fashion. But overall, the disease resistance is much better, and they are more floriferous. But I've got another two over here. So that one I believe is called Snowdrift, and that's an Easy Elegance rose. I put it on the screen, I'm sure already. These ones here at the front of the house are called Easy Love, and there's three of them. There's one here, here, and a pathetic one back there. They're not doing so hot back here, but I refuse to move them, and the reason is this is black and blue salvia. One, this plant gets extremely large for this spot. I didn't anticipate it. It looks good, but this year my plan is to really keep on top of pruning it down so that it does not get out of control height-wise. It'll stay about half its height, which will bring it to roughly about here off the ground, about 2 foot comfortably. And that way we can have a nice layered effect of the roses, the salvia, and then it goes into whatever I decide to do up front this year, because that corner is still not looking good. So I'm gonna quickly get these roses done and then we'll move on to the back. So I just finished up these roses and I wanna show you something if I can. So, give me 1 second, let me get this camera to focus. See how there's really no direct spot that you see swollen other than the thorns of where the growth could be? Now, this may be because it's just this type of plant, it's late to break dormancy or bud up, but you can see that little, literally looks like a eye of a snake or something. That's a point where it's gonna start swelling and bud break. Now, it could be a little more difficult on some other ones, but you can also see here that there are swollen points, whether they do develop or not. They may look a little dry right now, but these will start to be points of where new growth is gonna come in. So if you're having a hard time, just do your best. You'll see, this is probably an extreme example of where a leaf was at one point. That's a good indication. That's where a bud break's gonna come. Again, right here. So if you need to do it dramatically, just follow where you see the old leaf attachments, and that'll give you a general idea of where that bud break's gonna be and where you wanna prune to. So before we get too much further into the back, kind of just give you an idea of what the front yard's really looking like. We still have Christmas lights that are on the trees, and we're gonna be taking those off here in the coming days, getting them put away, but the yard still has a lot of interest in it and a lot of snow still that needs to just go away. And then I'm excited to really just get all the leaves cleaned up. Not a good kitty trying to get birds, but he's not very good at catching them. But everything looks pretty good. Look how pretty this pine, mugo pine looks. I just planted this last year. This is Karsten's Winter Gold, and it's gonna get about 2 foot tall, 3 foot wide. Look how bright that is. And that's what it'll look like throughout the entire year into winter, just fresh. And that should be getting about yay tall and yay wide. I'm gonna be redoing this area. I planted out a number of things in this area, but we're really leaning towards putting a gate in right here. So we're gonna reconfigure this panel of fence and create a path. So some of these plants will need to get moved, and then we'll do some heavy mulching through here, and then it'll be a path that leads out to the front here. I'm anxious to get a lot of these perennials cleaned up, but we're still a few weeks away from safely being able to do that and not disrupting the pollinators that are overwintering. And then we've also been having some little visitor trampling through the flower beds here to get past, and the sign is not necessarily working, and I think I've lost a couple coneflower crowns right here, and they've been stomping through here in between these two trees. So we'll see how everything looks in the spring. We've got 3 forsythia over here that are ready to burst into color. And then also, Draco. No. For anybody that says they don't find cat remnants anywhere, must be nice. These two, one of them will get moved, the smaller one. These are Lotus Moon Pearl Bush. Really, really beautiful, underrated shrub for spring color. They're swollen with buds right now. They burst into these pure white blooms, and then they have this beautiful foliage. It's like a blue-green, just really clean, fresh, very durable shrub. This one is 2 years old, and that one's 3 years old. This one's approaching max size, and I realized I read the tag wrong, and this one needs to get moved, so we're gonna find it a new home when I start reworking this portion of the bed. Okay, but back over to where we were. Still a lot of winter interest over here. The clematis needs moved, and that little arb needs moved. I'm not 100% thrilled with everything out here right now, but we'll get it tweaked as things start to come up and look different. Another forsythia right here. I have 4 of them. I'm debating. I kind of like this one right here, but I think I could use a pop of black, and I think I want to put a 9 bark here, or even a, excuse the noise, or even a Winecraft black smoke bush. And then, boy, I'm really excited to see Cedar Rapids take off this year. I'm really hoping it starts putting on a lot of the growth that it talks about. And then we also planted out, if you recall, the Weeping Alaskan Cedars. These ones I'm going to be doing a little bit of a light prune on to create more density with, because I want these to be really, really thick trees when they come in. And the post here needs to be straightened up, but ground's frozen still. But you can see all this fresh growth from last year has yet to harden off, and we're going to take advantage of that. You can see the old hardened off growth, and this is all new growth. It's starting to firm up back here, but what we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to tip these ends, and that'll encourage more branching and a fuller plant. Same with that one over there. So I'm going to go to the back. I'm going to get some more pruning done on roses. Nothing too adventurous there. So I'm going to leave you with the little tour of the front yard. I actually have some roses over here that need to be done as well. And I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys. So I just happened to glance over at the pond, and this little guy is freezing cold, sitting in a puddle of water and very much alive. Why is he out? Nothing is blooming yet. Buddy, nobody told you it's fall spring? So I'm letting him dry off in my plush coat here and warming up until he's ready to go, and hopefully he goes back to his hive, which is just over that fence and at the house next door where those trees are. So, well, he's starting to do a little better already. Wish him luck.